If winning at poker is nothing but a temporary relief for you from the pain and misery of losing, then this video is for you. So I'm going to talk about how you can recapture the joy and the passion and the spark and the love for the game of poker that you had in the beginning so that you can actually win and be happy finally. So we're going to do that right now. If you don't know me already, I'm Jason Su, author of the book Poker with Presence, and today what we're going to do is break down the one giant myth poker players have that is absolutely ridiculous and stupid and unnecessary. Poker is hard. So we're going to go over the 3 reasons why people create this experience for themselves over and over and show you how to get out of that pattern and into the one that's going to allow you to be happy, fulfilled, enjoyable, excited each time that you play. So let's go. So a little while ago, I wrote this tweet that basically just said, you know, the game of poker is not hard and it doesn't wear you down because it's essentially just a set of rules, a game that we play. It doesn't have its own life and it can't do anything to you. And it's very funny because the highly successful poker pros out there completely lost their minds and started lobbing all sorts of insults and arguments toward me so that they could continue to believe this idea that poker is really hard. But what I want to do is show you why you're creating that experience, why you're having that experience if that's the case, and exactly how to get out of it. So the first thing that is wrong if you're having this experience of poker is really hard is that you've got a really messed up system of motivating yourself into action. So if you require yourself to constantly compare yourself to others, to feel like you're not good enough, to feel like you're not doing enough, to feel like you're not reaching your full potential, and that is what motivates you into action, then what's going to happen is that you require yourself to feel bad in order to get things done. And so if you really, really want to win and you're very competitive and you need to motivate yourself, but this is the only way you can do it, of course, you're always going to go back to the well and beat up on yourself or find somebody to compare yourself to or talk about how you haven't reached your full potential. Make yourself feel bad. Use that as the launching point. And you do that over and over. And of course, poker feels hard. And of course, it wears you down emotionally because you're the one doing it to yourself. Number 2 is that most poker players, unfortunately, have no capacity to feel any sense of self-worth inside themselves aside from being able to win at the game of poker. And so if you are one of those people and that's the only thing that you can hold on to determine inside yourself of I have value because I win at poker, when you're on a downswing, what's going to happen is that the only thing that you have to hold on to is the pain and the suffering that comes with all of the losing. And because you're not able to feel good about yourself from the winning, you decide that the thing that makes you special, the thing that makes you worthy in that moment, in that downswing when things are really hard, is the suffering. And so the suffering becomes an addiction, a crutch in itself that you hold on to. And that is why the most successful people are the ones that are holding on the strongest to this idea that poker is hard, because it's a badge of honor that you wear through those times of suffering to say, I'm still worthy even though I'm not winning. So you got to be able to let go of that. So you put those first 2 things together and what happens is you create this infinite loop of suffering where you're highly motivated to win. You don't know how to motivate yourself to win in ways that feel good. So you create suffering in the fueling up process. You create more suffering in the moments where you're losing and you need that to feel worthy. And so you need to win to feel good. You don't know how to win without suffering. Therefore, you need to suffer in order to feel good inside yourself. And there you have it. You have a complete addiction to being miserable that you can't break out of. So let's talk about how to break out of that now. So what you're going to need to do first and foremost is to create the capacity inside you to rebuild that very initial celebratory relationship that you had with the game of poker when you first started, where every time you won, you actually allowed yourself to feel the joy of winning. Every time you lost, you actually allowed yourself to feel the pain of losing, rather than going into this mode that everybody starts conditioning you into over time of like, oh, don't be results oriented. Don't feel bad that you're losing. Just keep going. Don't feel too good when you're winning, right? And they just condition you to stuff it all in. And you've got to break out of that and allow yourself to actually feel everything again, which is going to open up a capacity for you to feel good inside yourself again. Because if you're not feeling emotions, then you cannot feel good. If you cannot feel good, then you're always going to go back to those old methods of fueling yourself into action that create more pain, more suffering, more stress, more tension. So that really is the number one and only thing you need to do right now, is to get yourself back to how you felt in the beginning when you first fell in love with the game. when you first fell in love with poker, it was not hard. It was not a grind. It did not wear you down. It made you super excited. It unlocked a part of you that you felt had been in there deep down, was looking to get out, and it was the perfect activity. So it cannot be anything besides that if you are wanting to change this relationship with poker to where you are performing at your highest levels and extremely happy and feeling really good inside yourself. So that's what you need to do. All right, if you're sick of being miserable and suffering as a poker player and you want to feel good again, start moving your way back to that beginning, I can help you. So you're gonna need to go over to my website, pokerwithpresence.com, and join my free daily email newsletter where each day I'm gonna give you something in terms of an insight, an idea that's going to help you move in that direction. So it's 100% free to come learn with me. Go on ahead, pokerwithpresence.com. We'll see you there. This is my setup. My editor was like, all right, we gotta like get you some different stuff or I'm gonna put in a fake background. I was like, no, this is my life. Like, I'm not ashamed of this. I got, my one shelf and this is what you see is what you get. Also, I do a lot of this so people can see the wedding ring, so they can see, this guy's stable and he's got his shit together. Yeah, somebody was willing to live with this guy. I have no more notes beyond that. I didn't finish. All right, so we're just gonna wing it. All right, because we're down to 8% on the battery. We'll make it. We'll make it.